Can an AI artist sue someone for acknowledging their AI art as being AI? I guess we shall find out soon. Ignore my wet hair and my pajamas. I went to the gym and now I am enjoying apple slices and caramel dip. I love apple slices because they make me feel like I am the Chuck E. Cheese ticket machine. New theory alert. Did Chuck E. Cheese prime an entire generation into enjoying mukbangs? Inquiring minds want to know. So I was on Threads. Dun dun dun. I was on Threads minding my own business, and by minding my own business, I mean minding everyone else's business because it's Threads. When something finds me. It's a post by user cat_bookdragon. Happy birthday to me, lol, and it's a photo of a cease and desist letter. And it's a cease and desist letter sent by the BYNDery LLC. Not to be confused with BYNDery, the small, not independent, or maybe independent publishing house / social media platform with an I. BYNDery, the BYNDery, with a capital BYND lowercase ERY. This cease and desist letter is talking about Cat's apparent AI art accusations against them, because here's what the BYNDery is. The BYNDery is one of those bookish companies where you get special editions of books, but their whole shtick is that they do custom rebinds of books and fan fiction, or they used to sell bound fan fiction. They don't anymore. They actually have a statement on their FAQ section of their website about it. One of those commitments to do better and how they're never going to do it again. But apparently Cat was pointing out and calling out the BYNDery for some of their covers being AI generated artwork. The BYNDery is run by a trio of friends, and they seem to be pretty successful, I guess, because they used to have an Etsy shop, and now it seems that they do not have an Etsy shop and they sell directly through their website. And we're going to talk about their Etsy in a second. So in the cease and desist letter, it specifically references an incident that occurred on or around October 20th of last year and again of March of this year. Apparently Kat went into a group that I believe is the kind of low-key infamous Facebook bookish group called Bookish Thunderdome, and I've heard nonstop inklings, whisperings of the never-ending drama in that particular group. I'm nosy, but I will never be nosy enough to download Facebook, which doesn't exist anymore, by the way. I saw posts about the Bookish Thunderdome being shut down a month or two ago. Rest in peace. Anyways, apparently Kat went into that group and was calling them out in that group and was encouraging people not to waste their money. So now she's getting a cease and desist letter, and all of the people in the BYNDery, the trio of women, what are their names? I took screenshots. Mandy, the founder and creative director. We'll get into her in a second. Jess, the communications director, and Natalie, the executive director. I'm fairly sure the illustrated character icons on the official BYNDery website for all of these women are also AI generated cartoons. I'm the most confident in Natalie's being AI generated. I'm inching closer and closer to neutrality on Jess, and Mandy's has a vibe. Jesus, look at those peepers. So I went digging because I don't know any of these people. I don't have a personal connection to any of these people. And when I looked further into this, I found something that's low-key kind of shady. So, okay. When I looked through the BYNDery's official Threads account and whatnot, I searched for the term AI to see what was mentioned about it, and it's just a couple of posts with their commitment and their statement saying that they will never use or never knowingly use generative AI for their artwork. When I looked through Mandy's account, because she is the most active for the BYNDery trio, when I look through her account and I search AI, any mentions of AI, it is again just constant statements about how they don't use AI, they never use AI, they are against AI. Here's what's pissing me off. When I search through their website, because I found some of these old covers that Kat brought up, some of these old covers with the AI generated images. When I look through their website and I go through their FAQ, there is a question that asks, do you work with AI generated art? And their response for this FAQ section of their website is, although the BYNDery started within a binding community where AI was normal, we have since educated ourselves on the unethical practices of generative AI and have completely removed any AI artwork from our backlog. We are proud to only source work from human artists and take special care to make sure we are not adding AI work to our rebinds. This sounds like an acknowledgement of past AI work To me, I don't know which works in particular are being referenced as having AI covers. And if you know there is evidence floating around, if you know there is documented evidence about you using this AI work, why are you getting angry at people for acknowledging it? Whenever people bring up the AI thing, or whenever Mandy wants to talk about the AI thing, it's never, we used to use AI, we have since learned from our mistakes, and we don't use it now. It's never that. It's always, we don't use AI. And respectfully, I used to do this, but I don't anymore, versus I don't do that, I never do that. Those are two very different statements and two very different responses to AI questions and accusations. I think what bothers me is when you do now have a full list of human artists that you love and support on your website, on your socials, whatever, credited in all of your Bach subscription service things for your company, but you have AI work that can be easily found, like resold or like still on your social medias. You have one thing in your FAQ on your website, not on any of your socials where you're most active with your community, that acknowledges that you did used to sell AI artwork covers in your rebinds. The tone and some of the language being used on social media treats the AI accusations as being baseless. Unless Kat is making accusations about covers that are not AI generated and calling them AI generated, then maybe. I went on Kat Bookdragon's account and searched the word AI, and I did get to March of this year, where someone was asking about the allegations against the BYNDery and how they are looking for like a book box to subscribe to that only uses human-made art. And there are a couple of people in the comment section, like in the replies, talking about like, oh, they're not allegations, like straight up they use AI in some of their covers. Kat Bookdragon says in her reviews on Etsy, I'm guessing Mandy's, there are a selection of books and book covers that are listed, allegedly, according to Kat, with AI art in the description of the sold item. Zayden POV fanfic binds, Rysand POV fanfic binds, Cat and Mouse Duet rebind, Birthday Girl rebind / jacket, Punk 57 rebind with AI art, and apparently she allegedly, according to this post, copied someone named Lady Bobbits bind for DMATMOOBIL. Acronym culture in the bookish world is getting out of hand. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be. That could be a word on its own. DMATMOOBIL. At that point, just take one or two words from the actual title and call that the title. Like what people do with Tu Wong Fu. That movie is not called Tu Wong Fu. That full movie title is Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Love Julie Newmar. But you don't see anybody running around calling it TWF TFEL. Yeah, whatever book that's supposed to be, apparently it's like a stolen something. I looked for this Etsy account and it doesn't exist anymore. I went to like one of the official accounts. I think I mainly stayed with Mandy during this journey. I'm not gonna lie to you. Mandy has an Etsy account that's listed like for the BYNDery, and I clicked on it multiple times. 404 website not found. And so I went over to snoop through the actual BYNDery website. They don't have a catalog of like their previous book binds, their previous cover redesigns or anything on the website. So I had to go and scroll through Mandy's account to find some of the old covers. And I found the Birthday Girl cover, Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. And absolutely, yeah, that's an AI illustration. The hair wispy details blur into each other. The swirls on the cupcake and how it's interacting with the sprinkles don't make sense. It looks melted. AI does this thing with flyaway hairs where it breaks off into nothing and it's like weird. It's like ghost hair. I started looking for the Rysand's POV fanfic binds, and there's one with this like watercolor type of texture and squiggly melted line work in the detailing surrounding the throne. There's some weird lines. It's like crackles of hair at the strap of this lady's dress. Then I looked into the Zayden POV fanfic bind. AI just completely falls apart when it tries to do fine line detail, which we see most with hair, and he has these melted chunks that make zero sense. Once again, ghost hair. The Butcher and Blackbird cover as well. This one I think is one of the more egregious ones. You can see it in like this weird sleeve of the woman on the cover. You can see it in whatever's happening with this man's veins. He's also holding this weapon wrong. It's like a really weird angle. I don't know what's happening with these birds. And then I found this other cover for a book called Under Construction. The bracelet isn't actually like on the wrist correctly, and I don't know what's happening with this woman's jeans. Mandy hasn't been active on Threads for a few weeks. I just think this whole situation takes so much nerve. Cue On Your Nerves hit single, It Do Take Nerve. How many book box subscription services do we need as a society? How many like romance specific book box services are people asking for? But I don't know. We'll see what goes on with Kat in this letter. Can you imagine getting a cease and desist on your birthday for some like dumb shit too? Oh my god.